Hi, my name's Vernon Wells.
Hi, this is Bill Duke.
Hi, this is Jeff Loeb.
My name is Stephen D'Souza.
I'm Ray Don Chong, and you're about to watch Commando.
One of the best films you will ever see, talk about, or analyze.
Based on my own experiences in the United States Army, where I face death every day.
Ooh, this is one of my favorites.
Let's party.
Hi everybody. As you can tell, I'm very busy doing a film called Commando.
Commando was a quintessential 80s action film and started the whole trend of action films. There were many 80s action films, like Predator came out of this. So it's really the granddaddy of these type of action films. I first met Joel at a Playboy Mansion party, and we were sitting there in our pajamas. He was sitting next to me, and I started talking to him. And I knew the movie 48 Hours, so you produced 48 Hours. And we really hit it off. He was a fantastic guy. And he said, listen, right there on the spot, I have a script, my next movie after 48 Hours. You'd be perfect to direct it. I said, what is it? He says, Commando. I said, can I read the script? He said, no, if you read the script, you'll never do the movie.
In the initial first round of conversations, this was a story about a guy who had been an Israeli soldier who actually had turned his back on violence.
My people got some business with you. And if you want your kid back, then you gotta cooperate. Right?
Not the movie they made.
Wrong.
The assignment here was to tailor a picture that would fit Arnold's, bigger-than-life persona, and that could start in the real world. So they basically said, let's see if we've got something that's been in here at Fox that was, in the ballpark, and we actually sort of went through, stacks of things, and I was sent a bunch of things to read, and one of these things was Loeb and Weissman's property for like sort of a rather different movie, and I said, this is something that I think could become the project for Arnold.
John, come on out. It's Kirby.
I know.
Silent and smooth, just like always.
Better be. You taught me.
So I read the script, and they had pitched the story, and then he says, okay, we have a rewrite. It's going to be Steve D'Souza. But now we have to really make sure Arnold's doing the movie, and he wants to know what the story is.
And Joel said, okay, let's go. I said, where? He says, we're going to go see Arnold. And I go, but well, wait a minute. We need to, plan it or tie. He says, no, he's going out of town. We got to go right now.
So they brought Arnold together with Steve D'Souza and myself and Joel Silver, and we had a meeting. They said, Steven D'Souza is going to act out the movie for Schwarzenegger.
And then we went over, and I plopped down. He says, all right, tell him.
John, we've got a problem. Someone's killing your men.
Who is doing it?
You've made enemies all over the world, John. It could have been the Syrians, the South Americans, the Russians, or a terrorist group. They're gonna find you.
I'm telling him I've got him hooked. And then at one point in the story I say, and then you say,
You're a funny guy, Sally. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
I'm going to kill you last. And then I realized they had sort of slipped into my normal, cocktail party imitation of Arnold, and he gave me this look. And Arnold said, I like this picture. This is, I'm not the caveman running around with no clothes. I'm not a robot running around with no skin. I'm playing a part John Wayne could play, wearing clothes for a change. And I'm a person from now to today. And for 5-10 minutes before all the shooting and killing, I'm a normal person with a child and a home life. Anyway, the thing was you have a very unique personality with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And so It's not unusual in Hollywood that when they buy a script from a first-time writer, that he gets one pass and then they say, okay, well, now we have to go and get somebody that really knows what they're doing. Whereas we would have loved to have stayed and gone through the entire process.
And I learned a really important lesson in the movie business. It's not the script, it's the packaging, it's the marketing. And that was this film where they had Schwarzenegger, they had a great concept, the script was going to come, they had a writer. So who wants to sit in development for years like filmmakers do? That's was the thinking, and the studio needed a picture because Larry Gordon's on the phone at the studio going, we're dying here, we got to have this movie right away, we need pictures, we're paying this pipeline for distribution, no movies, shoot Commando.
Stand by for picture. Mark.
In the directing of Commando, I approached it like most of my films. I tried to develop movies as pop art. And the one thing with even Joel I was in really cahoots with was this idea of exaggerated reality, to make things big as entertainment.
Attention all units. Emergency on a theater level. Suspect, 6'2", brown hair. He's one gigantic motherfucker.
It's camp. I was watching it the other night, and we were doing stuff. There was a lot going on. The lines were always like not only double entendre, but there was all sorts of stuff happening in that. Yeah, it was definitely charged.
This famous, phone booth scene, like the very last moment of Casablanca. Get away from that phone. And then pulling the wires out.
You guys know that this is going to come that far out, right?
So I said, look, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's not going to pull the wires out of the wall. I said, you should pick up the whole phone booth.
Arnold is exactly what Hollywood loves. So it's all about fantasy. And Arnold is a perfect specimen, unlike me. How did I even have a career?
Listen to me. My daughter has been kidnapped. He's the only chance I've got of finding her. If he sees me or I lose him, they'll kill her. What I need you to do is follow him, tell him you're crazy about him. Try to bring him over here, and I will do the rest. You can go back to your normal life. Got it?
No.
Please, help me. You're the only chance I've got.
In the 80s, first of all, there weren't those many black women doing film. And she was kind of a fully realized character, and she had the female lead. It may sound simple, that was a big deal.
Background.
As soon as you're getting into a bigger-than-life character that Arnold was playing, and we're really trying to make Arnold work in a contemporary setting, which he really had not been in, and we really talked about slowly moving the bar, we thought what would mitigate all this would be somebody who noticed how preposterous it was.
I set up the tragedy and the reality, and then he gets to take the air out of it. I was the Laurel to his Hardy in that, I'm worried, and the more I did that, the better his smug but funny, flippant comments, the better they would ricochet and bounce off.
You steal my car, you rip the seat out, you kidnap me, you ask me to help you find your daughter, which I very kindly do, and then you get me involved in a shootout where people are dying and there's blood spurting all over the place, and then I watch you rip a phone booth out of the wall, swing from the ceiling like Tarzan, and then there's a cop that's gonna shoot you, and I save you, and he starts chasing me! Are you gonna tell me what's going on or what?
No.
I just imagined her as somebody who might fold her socks. Imagine being really persnickety and organized, and then having Arnold Schwarzenegger kidnap you.
You're right.
I think I'm dead.
You're right. Wait for me.
I think that's why the film has held up far better than other, action-packed films of the same era, because it's clear that the film knows, on a certain level, that it's over the top and is sort of playing a game and winking, at the audience.
I have to remind you, Sally,
This is my week off.
The whole plot was unique. The setup of the film was why people bought the script even.
People remember. I mean, that kind of writing is essential to have that kind of long-standing cult following of a movie. They're remembering the experience of it through words and the things they saw on screen.
Any carry-on luggage?
Just him.
And then I think also it gave the bad guys a humanity, you know?
You know what I like best?
What's that?
The price.
Wait a minute!
I mean, it's just, it's a well thought out sequence.
But the important thing that drives whenever you do this is the villains have to be deadly serious. In the pecking order of the movie, you've got your desk heavy, who's the guy running the show, General Arias, Dan Hedaya. And then you have your heavy, Vernon Wells.
Bennett, I thought you were...
Dead? You thought wrong. Do you know what today is, Matrix? Payday.
Every good film has to have a good antagonist. You know, to make a hero, you have to have a villain of equal intensity. And the thing about it is that no villain thinks he's a villain. To play a villain correctly, you have to believe that what you're doing is right.
How much they're paying you, Bennett?
They offered me $100 grand. You want to know something? When I found out I'd get my hands on you, I said I'd do it for nothing.
Hey, hold it. I'll be back, Bennett.
John? I'll be ready, John.
You know, we've gone away from that having the wonderful character of the hero and the villain. You know, now your villains become terribly wishy-washy. Mine is a scary bad guy. You know that if you confront me, I'm going to break your neck and you know, suck out your brains.
When I met him the first day, I said, God, how is he going to pull off playing a mean guy? He's so nice. But when you say action, he can be so mean that I look at him and I say, wait a minute, what's happening here? You know, and he comes with this knife at me and he starts fighting and all this kind of thing. And he's incredible the way he gets into it. And so we work very well together. Yeah, absolutely. And he's scary.
I don't need the girl. I don't need the girl!
I don't need the gun, John. I can beat you.
I don't need no gun! I'm gonna kill you now!
When the scene was over, Arnold remarked to Mark Lester, "Keep him away from me." It was very funny because, you know, he was afraid I was actually going to cut his throat, I think. I just went, and that was the start of a great relationship.
Your training, Matrix.
And then you have, like, the dog heavies. And the dog heavy, this goes back, this is an old Hollywood nomenclature, like maybe he'd kick a dog going across the street or, like, you know, be mean to the bartender.
You know, I got something I'd really like to give you.
I'm not interested.
Oh, you don't know what you're missing.
From here, it looks like a nightmare. Would you please leave me alone?
You fucking whore.
There wasn't much for him to do except die as you worked your way up to the main villain. So that's why David Patrick Kelly is in the movie and he can be funny. Because he's, like, never supposed to be the clear physical threat. He's half Arnold's size.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
What'd you do with Sully?
I let him go.
It makes me feel great that people are still excited about a movie this long ago, because I myself am a movie buff.
The part that, you know, to this day I find sort of amusing is that people come up to me and they say that Commando is their favorite movie.
The only thing I'd like to say is that I am probably one of the few people that has kicked the governor of California's butt and got away with it.
I'm happy that it's got a life like this. Who knew?
Remember, Bennett knows where you live.
Welcome back, John. So glad you could make it.